G'day and welcome back to Humans of Agriculture. We're here this morning in Toowoomba on the edge of the Darling Downs in Southern Queensland. We're really keen to find out more about what it takes to grow Aussie food and fibre. So today, we're heading out to Mort Co out near Dalby to find out what it's all about.
Mort Co was originally founded in 1843 by Thomas Mort, who migrated to Australia with a passion and a dream of developing the agriculture industry. In 1997, Charlie Mort re-established Mort Co, and today they're a vertically integrated beef business with over 250 team members, 2 world-class feedlots with over 90,000 head on feed at one time, marketing beef to customers across Australia and around the world. I was really excited to sit down with Charlie to find out more about where it all started.
The feedlot industry was in a really bad spot. I thought that there was a place for regular supply of grain-fed cattle to processors. And what used to happen was the meat processors either fed their own cattle or they used to buy cattle in droughts when people put them into feedlots, but nobody actually supplied them regular cattle every week. Then I found investors to fund the cattle, and so that when graziers weren't putting the cattle on feed, I could buy the cattle.
After speaking with Charlie, we sat down with a couple of their team members, including CEO Stephen O'Brien, to find out more about where the business is heading. Once you start to peel back the layers, it's an incredible business.
Unbelievable. And that, when you have a look at the growth, and Charlie started at 25 years this year, but it was really done on courage, determination, on vision, where the people he's taken along, whether they be suppliers or customers or employees, they've been taken along because of the trust and the culture that Mort Co has developed from day one when Charlie started it. It's that one of trust and honesty and looking after each other, and my job is to carry that on and if possible make it stronger.
What was so cool this morning was just getting access to Stephen and Charlie and everyone, and they're all so passionate about what they're doing. And normally I'd be feeling exhausted after doing several hours of podcasting, but I reckon just their passion kind of gets you energised. And so I'm pretty excited now to go to the feedlot and actually see what everything comes back to, and that's the animals and how they manage them and how they manage the environment that the animals are growing in.
No sooner than when we arrived at Grassdale did we realise the scale of the operation. Feedlot manager Marcus Domani took us for a tour, and we jumped into a pen with the cattle to find out a little more.
Well, we're out here at Grassdale. We spent the morning up in Toowoomba, and Marcus, thanks for having us.
No, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Ollie.
Can you tell us a little bit about the area that you're managing here?
Yeah, so Grassdale Feedlot, it's Australia's largest feedlot. We have a maximum capacity of about 78,000 head at any one time, which is a big job, big scale. It requires a lot of people, but we've got a very good team. We've got 5 different departments that we run the feedlot through. We've got an administration department, a health department, and a movements department, our maintenance department, and our last department's the feeding and milling department. So there's a lot that goes on, there's a lot of moving pieces, and a great team of professionals that have really worked their way up through the ag industry.
With about 100 different people needed to keep the feedlot going, there's a huge range of roles to fill. One of those people who's keeping the wheels turning is Caitlyn Barton, or Bardo, as she's better known. So let's find out a little bit about what she does.
I'm a livestock buyer and logistics coordinator here for Mort. So it's pretty cool what I get to do day to day. I look after all the logistics in our feedlots, all our ins and outs in our cattle movement team. We also look after our end markets. So really ensuring the quality of our product is what meets the consumer's demands and ensures the highest quality of Australian product that we can get out to the consumers.
So what got you into working in the beef industry and with Mort Co?
Just the way I grew up on properties around Queensland, and I suppose just from a young age I was really into the operational side of things and how we can supply a product to people and protein, which is really exciting to be able to do.
And in terms of, for you, what do you reckon the best aspects of your job are?
I think being able to get to work with everyone right across the supply chain. I think the most exciting thing is really being in the middle of everyone and in between all the markets, and then at the end of the day getting to see a finished product that you can say that you've had something to do with, and put an Aussie made label on. It's pretty cool to be a part of, really.
Looking around, it was obvious that it would take a massive team to run this operation. And today, it's getting harder and harder to get young people working in agriculture. So I was keen to find out more about what some of the roles might be within the operation.
We've got a lot of rolling plant and machinery. We've got a feed mill, a cotton dehulling plant. We've got an extensive network of steel and cable when you look at our yard setup, and our waters. Obviously, cattle need to drink, and we go through up to 6 megalitres of water a day here with the cattle that we have on hand in the summer. There's approximately 440 troughs that all have to be kept in working condition. So it's a massive maintenance undertaking to keep this place in a good functional operational way.
With over 70,000 head of cattle here at any one time, it was obvious there must be a large feeding department. So what happens behind the scenes?
The kind of things that we have to do every day without any option is they need to be fed, and that means up to 1,000 tonne of feed a day has to be mixed and fed out. In order to do that, we mill up to 700 tonne of grain a day. We've got an allocator that drives every inch of these bunks and works out how much feed every pen's having every day.
So Marcus, we just saw the truck coming around. So you said they're getting fed twice a day, a bit of brekkie and a bit of dinner. What's in this ration here for them?
I look at it and basically I want it to be like a bowl of muesli that I'd be happy to stick in a bowl, pour some milk over and be happy to eat myself.
And so these guys, you'll come back in the morning and that'll be bare?
So we're actually hoping that we'll come here in the morning and there'll be a little bit of feed left in it, which means that we've met their appetite quite accurately. We haven't let them get too hungry, but we're also not wasting feed. So it's a fine balance, and that's part of the art of feedlotting.
With such a large number of animals on site and the stigma around feedlots, I have to admit that I was curious to see how the animals were cared for and how they managed animal welfare.
From a livestock handling side, every animal is inspected every day to make sure that they're healthy. If anything is looking ill or crook, they're removed from the pen and they're taken to one of our 2 hospitals. And we make sure that that animal's welfare is managed with best practice, brought back to health, and hopefully back in with their mates as quickly as possible.
My name's Chelsea. I'm a pen rider here at Mort, and I've been here just over 3 years now. Come here early, we start in the dark and we saddle up some horses and we come out and ride some pens and check some cattle. And I mean, we're just looking for anything that's out of the ordinary. Welfare's our biggest thing out here. We're such a big feedlot, we should be setting the standards for everything, and that's with our cattle health and welfare. Our big thing every day is we have to walk through them and you stand every beast up so you get to look at every beast and make sure everything's looking at me. I mean, if something's not looking at me, then usually there's something wrong with that beast, and then we like to walk in and you check both the troughs and make sure they're clean, and you'll walk up and check the bunk, make sure they're eating, and you check that everything's weight bearing and everything's happy, make sure that the troughs are clean, that their bunk's slick, and take your time. Like, the biggest thing is that we take our time because we care.
One thing I can't get over, and I'm kind of blown away by, is just how quiet it is here. I was definitely not expecting them to be as calm and as quiet as what they are. Is that just because they're so used to having people around them all the time?
I think also they're content, that they want for nothing. They've got a feed laid out for them every day that's, had more nutritional science gone into it than what we put down our throats. They've got fresh water, pens are kept clean, plentiful shade available, and they're checked on daily and interacted with. All our cattle handling is all about low stress cattle handling techniques, and so at the end of the day I think we've got happy cattle.
Well, happy cattle they certainly seem to be. It really did blow me away at just how well they looked after their cattle. We'd heard a little bit about the latest innovation, so we headed over to find out more about what they're doing with the waste and how they manage the environment.
So Grassdale Fertilisers started about 3 years ago and was brought in as a partnership with Mort Co to utilise the waste that's generated from the feedlot, so the manure that's produced. Traditionally with that product, we've taken that raw manure out of the pens and then we've on-sold that to broadacre farmers within the area. We saw opportunities to value add that product. So the product itself comes direct from the feedlot onto our pad. We compost that product, which takes about 12 weeks to get to a fully composted product. From there, it comes into the shed. We grind that down into a particle size that allows us to then further process it. So the technology of granulation has been around for a long time, but nobody has done it in Australia of granulating cow manure or any organic product previously. So we're creating a product for the market that can be used in a different way than traditional manure does, and better manage the environment. There's some really good work around carbon as well that's working with the granule. So for us, it's just another value adding point for our business. So we'll produce here at Grassdale about 100,000 tonne of manure per year. And so it's a big amount of product that we need to move on and get off site and manage environmentally as well.
So from an administration team, a health department, movements department, maintenance, feeding teams, it was no wonder this required an enormous group of people, which all played a pivotal role in keeping things running smoothly.
What is it that gets you out of bed each day? Why is it that you're so passionate about the beef industry?
Oh, look, the people. Your core passion is your people, because I'm there to support them. I'm there to make sure that they've got everything they need to do their job. And by doing that and hopefully giving them the best support, they'll perform as well as they can, which means the cattle perform as well as they can. I hope that I'm helping my staff grow and become better professionals in the beef industry, and hopefully they go on to achieve bigger and better things.
You mentioned people are pretty important to you guys, so much so that actually the area was under flood only recently. What lengths did you guys go to make sure that your people were able to get to work?
Yeah, so look, everything that happens here is because of our people. Like our people make this place tick, and when we've had 2 flood events in the last 5 months, and that really hammers home just how critical our people are. I think we had days where we were helicoptering up to 60 staff in, and making sure that everything gets done, cattle are right, and people are safely finishing to get them back over the other side with daylight still on your side.
There was absolutely no doubt by now that this was an absolutely amazing operation, helping to provide quality beef to their customers across Australia and around the world. As we'd looked around, I still had one thing that I needed to ask. Why feedlotting?
Feedlotting is critical to the industry, and the reasons why it is so important is, first of all, we've got a highly variable climate, and it enables consistency of throughput through climate variability. It enables the consistent output of a high quality product, so consistency of output. We know that meat quality is maximised with optimal nutrition. And lastly, we've got efficiency. So we're producing an optimal product, optimal production with scarcity of resources, but optimising the control and the input of those resources in our production system.
Well guys, that's it from us here on the Darling Downs. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Humans of Agriculture. I certainly didn't know what to expect, and I've walked away learning so much more about the Australian lot feeding industry and just how much they care for their animals, for the environment, and just how important people are to making sure that we produce some of the best beef in the world. Keep your eyes peeled, and we can't wait to bring another story to you soon. See you later.